Hello and welcome back to the second part in our final pre-launch Q&A series for Stronghold Warlords on YouTube. Last time we went through about 20 questions related to the game, completely randomized, all very interesting of course, and we did our best to answer them, as well as we can. Back here again today with Tasha. How are you doing?
Howdy. I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
We're going to have to vary up the hellos. Howdy this time. Next time could be like, salutations.
Greetings, my lord.
Good.
I got a bit country there, but oh well.
That's all good. Right, cool. So let's head into another set of questions about Warlords pre-launch.
Next question is from Ed Mick again, asking if pikemen will be in the game.
No pikemen, but we do have lots of lances, if that makes up for it. There's the auxiliary cavalry, fire lancer, and the spear tribesman. So lots of things that are kind of pike-esque.
Pike-esque.
In the game.
Are pikes like lances?
Pass?
It's a really long... longest
I don't want to get into
ever.
this, this whole of people saying, no, that's a halberd. No, that's a pike. What are you talking about, you idiot? It's not a lance, etc., etc.
Pikegate on Twitter or something.
Yeah. I'm just going to say no.
Okay, fair. Next question is from NP123. Can we configure starting units and resources in multiplayer?
Yeah, just like in previous games, there will be predetermined allocations for resources and starting units. So you'll be able to set these to very low, low, medium, high, and very high. So you can set handicap if you're playing against me and you want me to have a fair shot at beating you.
Next question is from Shadow Namesto.
Shadow Namesto? Shadow Namesto? Shadow Namesto sounds better.
Shadow Namesto is much better than the way I said it. Will the Warlords attack or just give you troops to attack?
So the answer is actually both. You'll be able to call in a relief force, which will add troops to your army once they reach your keep. Or you'll be able to command the Warlord independently to launch an attack alongside you. And that's when, in that case, they're in control of the units. So the latter is pretty good for pincer attack movements, and you want to use the former if you just need, some extra troops to do your own thing.
Pincer attack just reminds me of a Pokemon.
Yeah.
I think it's Pokemon called Pincer.
Use pincer attack.
Next question is, again, from Shadow Namesto. Which game do you like and dislike the most?
I don't dislike any. I kind of suck at Crusader. I'm quite a big fan of Legends just because I like all the crazy units and I think the combat feels really good. And it's a good example of a bunch of really great fan-requested improvements going into the game at the last minute under the radar. And that's really obvious in the way that we get all these requests for specific features in Warlords that were actually pioneered in Legends. So I think it's the unsung hero of the franchise, personally.
Wow, that was a real rant.
It's a long answer.
The next question is again from Shadow Namesto. If you could remake one game, which would it be?
We've done quite a lot of remasters. If I was to remake a game, it would be the first Stronghold, I think. I think every fan would say Crusader, and that's obviously deserved, but I think a proper Stronghold 1 remake, be it, 2D or 3D, would be really cool.
I like Stronghold 2.
Yeah, Stronghold 2 would be awesome. I kind of feel like that would have to be 3D, unless it was like a demake style situation. But yeah, Stronghold 2's probably... I know I said Legends before, but Stronghold 2 on balance is what I would consider to be the best game in the series. So yeah, so that would be your answer with it, Stronghold 2.
I suppose so. Yeah, I do like Warlords quite a lot. I am enjoying playing it. It's kind of like trying to choose between your favourite children, really.
Well, there's one that you really don't like, but you never admit it to anyone.
Yeah, I mean...
Not that either of us have kids.
I'm an only child, so I was just always loved, but you've got siblings, so you probably know the feeling.
I wish I didn't.
Sorry, that sounded really mean.
I hope my
I
brother's
regret
listening to this.
starting this conversation. Anyway, next question is from Wolcorn. Will our Discord guilds be referred to in the game? Aww.
Oh, that's nice. No reference explicitly to the Discord guilds, because I think they were kind of more meant to represent the different industries we have in the game. But there will be some Discord references and maybe an Easter egg, possibly.
Ooh.
So keep your
I
eyes
wonder
open.
who will find it first.
It's going to get to that point where no one's noticed it and we just tell people anyway.
Hurry up and notice someone, please. Next question
Took us
is
3
from-
days.
Next question is from Aslan Kurd. Will horse archers be limited in number?
No limit for how many horse archers you can recruit.
Jolly good. Beerly Tactical asks, will there be an updated demo?
Not any new demos, as we probably don't have the time to set that up between now and launch. But we have made our PAX Online demo from last year available again to play. And I believe, Natasha, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's available until the 19th of Feb. And there'll be a link in the description below. So hopefully you're watching this video at the right time in the first couple of weeks, and you can play it. But yeah, that demo gave us some really great feedback. But at this point, we're in the home stretch now, so we just want to focus on the core game.
Next question comes from Splashing for Life.
Ooh, is that dark?
Okay.
Is that a dark name? Are they
Splashing?
drowning?
Oh, I didn't think about it like that. Freaking
Or are they just
dark.
really happy?
I was thinking like splashing, like splash, splash, and taking a bath.
Yes.
You just went straight for death. Okay. Either way, Splashing for Life asks, are there going to be bamboo walls?
So currently there's one type of wall in the game. We won't have wooden or bamboo walls, but we do have barricades, which can be used as outer defences.
Next question comes from Mizo. Will Warlord Troops have distinct colours and banners?
Warlord Troops will have their own colours and banners, yes, they will.
Next question is from Kratalotus. How does the tea mechanic work exactly?
So tea, it will essentially be treated as another food resource in terms of your popularity. So it'll have its own production chain and its own sort of unique boost to popularity. But it's less of a mechanic in the same way that Spirit is, for example. It's more of an extension of the kind of food popularity mechanics for our new setting, essentially, with its own cool building.
And the next question probably relates exactly to this. Clara Lotus asks, what's the benefit of vegetables or pig farms over just feeding your peasants rice?
So it's classic Stronghold in the sense that the more varied your food types are, the happier your peasants will be. Just like in real life, you could probably survive on rice, but it's not going to make you particularly happy, is it?
I don't think you could survive on just rice. You'd get scurvy.
Because it lacks certain nutrients that you need.
Yeah, you need to eat vegetables and fruit, or you like.
I guess you could
rot.
survive on like rice with like bits of chicken in it, so like chicken rice or vegetable rice.
I mean, you would be alive. I'm not sure how healthy you would be.
Yeah. Hope that answers your question.
Next question is from Mates GH7. Will we be able to see walls on the minimap?
Yeah, walls will be visible on the minimap. You might need to zoom in either with your eyes or using the in-game options or both. But yes, they'll be visible.
Next question is again from Mate GH. Will we be able to disband troops?
Yeah, so when it comes to Warlords sending out attacks, these will be on a cooldown. If certain troops end up getting sort of stuck or they end up on the map where you don't necessarily want them, you won't be able to disband these, but you will be able to send new attacks from the same Warlord after a cooldown. So it won't stop you from continuing your attack. And then you can also disband your own troops if you don't need soldiers anymore and you need peasants to work on buildings if you want to refocus back onto your economy. So yes, you can do that for both Warlords and for troops.
Next question is from Scorpio M. Will you add Mongolian, Chinese, and Japanese voice lines?
So we added Chinese not too long ago. In the recent demo, you can hear certain units speaking Chinese, and then like Thukfan and the Scribe speaking to you in English. So for the final game, we're kind of deciding how to balance between gameplay, immersion, and just like having some humor in there. So we've got a pretty good idea, I think, now of what works best for the player, and you'll see it in the final game. And then as for other languages, we're always looking at supporting more, but we can't confirm just yet. But watch this space.
Next question comes from a certain Blue Lobster.
Are we supposed to know what Blue Lobster that is? Is that a restaurant or is it Red Lobster? I think it's Red Lobster. Anyway.
I'm not sure. Anyway, could warlords kneel when they reach 0 HP instead of dying?
So, fun fact, I think this question led to us actually doing that. So, Thank you, Blue Lobster, for the suggestion. I'm sure other people mentioned this as well. But yeah, they do this now. They bend the knee rather than just dying and coming back to life as a zombie warlord that you now control.
Zombie Warlords, that also sounds like a different game, but
Yeah.
I would buy that. Next question comes from Destiny. What do aggressive, defensive, and hold ground stances do?
So in terms of the radius units use to decide, whether or not to attack an enemy, aggressive basically means a large radius. So they'll look quite far and attack enemies quite far off. Defensive is more medium, and then hold ground means they won't move to attack an enemy, unless they can attack from range. It also depends. It also affects, how they treat passing by troops and troops that are running away. So aggressive means that they'll likely just pursue them indefinitely. Defensive stance means that they might pursue them for a little bit, and then they'll kind of they'll return to their original positions. And hold ground means they won't pursue enemies at all. I think troops will still attack them if they can do so from range. So if you've got like a blowpipe tridesman or an archer or a crossbowman, they'll still attack. But the defenses, mainly affect how troops, if they have to move to attack an enemy, what kind of lengths they'll go to do that.
We are almost out of rice, Highness.
Next question is from Reno the Slav. Will we be able to edit the AI?
You won't be able to edit AI, but we've made loads of improvements to how the AI builds its bases, how it assesses available space, resources, its own needs before building or rebuilding anything. It's definitely worth checking out the AI improvements dev diary if you haven't already, because that goes into pretty good detail about what we're going to be improving on that front.
Next question is again from, it's not Reno, it's Revo. Sorry, I said
Rio?
Reno before. Well, I say Revo, but maybe it's Revo. Anyway, Revo the Slav asks, what's the strongest non-combat peasant unit?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer. I'd assume it's the Torturer, because he looks like a lad.
Beefy.
Yeah. But I'll check. I'll check and find out.
Loot Roomba asks, will AI have personalities or will they adapt to your gameplay?
Both. So again, during the recent AI video, I think we went into this, but Lords will have certain playstyles that they follow, in addition to improvements to how they behave, more like human players this time around. So they'll have all the classic Stronghold elements, so taunts, animations, voice lines, and a good sense of character as well, but they'll behave far more like a human player when it comes to kind of moment-to-moment gameplay.
Yoshida Kurosagi asks, I wonder when moats will return. Moats.
Oh, moats. Not in Warlords, unfortunately, but they're pretty high on our wish list for the future, so...
We did try to make them work. We are very aware of how much the community desire moats.
Yeah.
But it just didn't work this time around, so hopefully future titles will be the top
it's
of our
really
list.
high up there.
Next question comes from Anatoly. Will we be able to place walls on Warlord territory?
No, not currently. Obviously, Warlords have castle designs that involve their own walls and defenses, and these can be upgraded using edicts, but you won't be able to place walls on their territory, not at the moment.
Revo the Slav asks, how many voice actors were involved in Stronghold Warlords? Oof, good question.
I did investigate this. It was originally 5, and I believe this eventually grew to a total of around 12. Just because as we went through the project, priorities shifted, and we felt like certain characters need voicing in different ways, and that's also not including the other 7. I think maybe 5, 6 or 7 languages that we're supporting with audio. You can check the Steam page for the latest. But obviously those are being produced externally. But I assume the total number is probably closer to like 30, 40, 50. I'd have to find out. But yeah, it's if we're doing like between 5 and 8 languages, then that's quite a lot.
Next question is from Erica Estrelina Hill. Why was the game delayed?
Yeah, so without getting into COVID-related details that team members might not actually sort of want revealed, COVID and individual circumstances changing on a weekly basis meant that like a lot of other studios of all sizes, we had a initial delay based on that. And then obviously we had the multiplayer issues as well, which were pretty unexpected, but we just couldn't fit those into our current timeline. So yeah, the first delay was almost entirely COVID related, and the second was just game development issues, multiplayer cropping up at the last minute. But that said, March 9th isn't too far away at all now. And we'll continue to use this time to improve the game. So hopefully people think it's worth the wait when it comes out.
Next question comes from Hellbrot. Will archers' accuracy be based on their height relative to targets?
Yes. So both accuracy and I believe damage will increase. So there are lots of reasons to get those archers onto towers.
I thought that meant the archer's height, like 5'2". Can't hit that.
Get all the
arrow.
really tall ones onto the crenellations so they can see above it.
I was very confused for a minute. I thought surely we're not going that in depth with our
You sir
troops.
get a box to stand on. Now I just want to watch Lord of the Rings.
Damn. You're going to put the same clip in the video. You're going to put the same Helm's Deep clip in this video.
Editor note, Aaron. Editor note.
Excuse me, pardon me, coming through, pardon me. Excuse me, sir. Do you know where I can find a box? Oh!
Next question comes from Matty Canepa. Will Warlords feature saved games and multiplayer?
Yes, it will indeed. You have no idea how long I've been waiting to confirm that. I think I've asked it every 2 months during development, and I've been told, yeah, probably, but let's just wait, before we can confirm it. So yes, you'll be able to save multiplayer games, which is handy for a series, that can result in multi-hour multiplayer sessions.
So you have time to go and, get your Red Bull and come back for more gamer time.
Yeah. I don't feel like Stronghold is the kind of Red Bull game. I think it's more of a green tea kind of game.
Green tea game. Don't know if that has the right level of caffeine, but sure.
So there we have it, the second part in our final Q&A series for Stronghold Warlords pre-launch. So stay tuned in the next couple of days for the next entry in that series. And of course, stay tuned for March 9th when we'll be launching the game on Steam. Wish list now if you'd like to find out about any pre or sort of during launch discounts for the game. And of course, stay tuned here on Firefly Studios YouTube for more Stronghold goodness every week.